What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of Bleach 1000 Year Blood, where we are back once again, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, after a year-long hiatus, Bleach is back with its final core, man, which I know is listed for only 10 episodes. So, like, core, what was it? Core 3 was like 14 or 15 episodes, and before that, 1 and 2 was like 12 each, I believe. Hang on one second. Yeah, Core 3 was 13. It was 14 episodes, while Core 1 and 2 were 13-ish. Yeah, 13 each for Core 1 and 2. So yeah, like, we went from 13 episodes to 14 episodes, then back down. Now we dropped down to be fair, man, there wasn't much, as you guys probably know if you guys have read the manga especially, there isn't much material left of the manga. Most of this season will be original new content, which is obviously very, very exciting. Which obviously if you guys have seen the movie version of this one that aired, a couple months in like June, which the first of 3 episodes that were edited together into a film, you guys would have already seen some of that new edit content. Like, of course, obviously the famous Ichihime Princess Carrie scene, which had everyone losing their goddamn mind. I believe there's a couple other scenes as well, obviously with Hoshwalt. Slight spoiler, I guess you guys don't know the new form he's got. While he has control of the Almighty against Uryu. A lot of crazy stuff, man. Obviously, we'll probably get a bit more expanding on the time skip stuff, man. Maybe they might adapt. We do not always love you in there. I don't know. Hopefully, we get to see Ichigo confess to Orihime. That would be insane if that happened, man. We got to say a little sketch that Kubo did. I think it was attached to We Do Not Always Love You. I believe it was attached to that light novel that sketch was, or it might have been something else entirely. When Ichigo, finally confesses to Orihime and asks her out, man. That would be insane, man. I mean, there's bits in the ED where it seems like it goes there, which, gotta talk about the OP and the ED. OP and the ED, man, for Core 4 so far, man, are both phenomenal. My theory, which I mentioned in the film version, my theory ended up being wrong, where I said this was going to be like a tribute ED, using tons of reused footage from the original anime, probably the previous 3 cores. That wasn't the case. This is all new footage, which is a little funny because, like, the way the song sounded, it sounded like the part for that kind of ED. Now, to be fair, for all we know, for the last episode, it could go in that direction. They'll make a new ED just for it, where it is kind of like reflecting on the series as a whole, where we see Ichigo from the beginning of the series and Orihime and, goes up to the current stuff, man. That could still happen. We could get that for the final episode, man. But either way, man, both the OP and the ED for Core 4, man, are both incredible, man. Both the songs and the art and animation in both, which from what I saw when the staff leaked for the OP and the ED, because I didn't check the episode. Like, a lot of people were like, yes, this is real with a donut. And, like, people are like, holy shit, this is so sad. Me personally, now, as you guys know, I am still very new to the Sakuga game. I am still but a novice, man. So there weren't really names that personally stuck out to me. But a lot of people were like saying stack, and I can definitely see why, because both the OP and the ED for this core are both phenomenal. Honestly, these two might be my favorite for each. Especially the ED. I think the ED for Core 4 is my favorite ED of 1000 Year Blood War. OP, it's definitely between probably this one and Core 3's OP, man. 3's OP is mostly care from the song and the whole black and white aesthetic it went with, man. But we'll have to wait and see on that, which I'll have to probably marinate to know for certain, man. But either way, man, both the OP and the ED was me. We'll talk a little bit more about them when we get to that part of the episode. For each of them, and we'll get into a little bit more of a discussion on both those, man. But yeah. Also, we did get some edits from the film version that were different from the XT version, like the opening of the episode. We have this other bit with Yuha, with him overlooking and him viewing what happened in Core 3 just now with obviously the Almighty. At least I think this is new. I'm pretty sure this is new footage that was in the TV version, and the movie just opened with the panning with the 3D shot of the camera zooming around the battlefield of Squad Zero's, or one of their headquarters of Squad Zero's headquarters, or whatever, they're like islands or whatever it was called. I forget the exact name of it, where it was just showing off the different battles and where we left off from Core 3, which looked amazing in the theater, by the way, and it looks amazing here as well. But I'm pretty sure it opened with that and went from there. So I think this is new footage. That I also think they might have touched up some of the animation from the film version to the TV version, because Yoruichi's effects animation when she transformed, the lighting looked a lot more detailed. There was a lot more going on. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they ended up touching up the effects animation on Yoruichi's lighting. It did look like it was more detailed and there was a lot more going on compared to the film version, but I could be wrong, and they're the exact same. If you guys have watched both, man, let me know in the comments if to let me know if there were any like major differences between this and the TV version, or the film version, excuse me. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. Also, guys, unfortunately, this core 3 would seemingly mark the end of the Bleach pants, man. Because I mentioned this in my episode reaction, but I might as well mention it here, man, because it's the first episode this is going to be releasing first. I honestly was like, once I had the episode downloaded, I was ready to go. I was about to watch it, man. Then when I went through my drawers to look for the pants, I couldn't find them. I looked all around, man. I can't find them anywhere. I wanted to make sure, like, did I forget these are rich? Because was I wearing these when we moved to Stafford during Core 3? We did. I was still wearing them. So they're somewhere here, man. I'm pretty sure I didn't look like I left them. I don't know. Maybe they when Mom was like throwing out some stuff, they got caught in the crossfire. Hope not, and they're just stuck in like a suitcase or one of the other bags that we shoved clothes into during the move, and just chilling in storage, waiting to be found. I don't know. I'll keep looking for it, man. But it seems that the end is here for the Bleach pants, and I'm now stuck having to wear my normal jeans. Oh well. Anyway, guys. Also, I did mean to, like, before Core 4 started, I did mean to start streaming again, and like do 1 or maybe 2 streams of Rebirth of Souls, just so I can have new footage for you guys rather than use the same Jump Force footage I've been using since Core 2. I don't even know how long I've been using this footage. I'm sure it's been a while. So yeah, sorry about that. Next week, definitely by next week, at some point I'm going to do at least 1 stream for Rebirth of Souls and finally stream it. And I can record the footage from that, see if I guys have some new footage to look at. So look forward to that next week. We'll be finally getting some new footage for the Bleach reviews. Yeah. Also, if you guys want to know if I'm going to be covering Avatar, I'll be reviewing that tomorrow more than likely, because obviously today I got Bleach going on and Tsunami and whatnot, so more than likely tomorrow is when I'll review the new Avatar movie that dropped on Paramount+. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, enough jibber jabber. I've rambled on long enough. Let's get into the actual episode. So we start the episode off with Yuha as he's like, we see him like seemingly, well, first he has a nightmare of Ichigo in his base Shikai form for some reason, slicing him down while he's in his chair. He's like, oh, a most wonderful dream. There is no better dream than a nightmare. And then we got to a preview, and we have an insert shot of Hashwalwal with his like men as they like walk towards Uryu and the others. And then we see him through the Almighty in his eyes, the various other characters, and like I believe flashbacks to Core 3, including Bosby's death and Ichigo and Orihime climbing up the stairs. So then we get to the OP, which, like I said, is incredible, man. Also, one thing I was shocked by, and that I didn't notice until I literally checked Sakaburo to check what cuts actually had animator credits on them. There's this one bit in the OP where actually Yuki Sato's in it when they show up with this is like the big action show the big action shot rather, when we see like all the characters coming in there, hitting their moves and whatnot, man. It's just very typical stuff. Yuki Sato is actually listed in this, man. Now, I must have I didn't see the credits list for the OP, and I just saw the ED because I don't remember if I saw both, or somehow I just slipped, or being when I was reading it, I just slipped her name. But that's awesome to know that Yuki Sato is in this, man. Definitely her cut looks like her work. She is at least presumably done the part from when Uryu with, is this actually just Uryu and, yeah. She's presumed to do the part with Uryu and Hashwald in the OP, which honestly looks like her work as well. We have, who's else in this one? Yoshihiro Kano is the one behind the main show with Orihime, Ichigo, Renji, and Rukia. They're hitting their attacks, ending with Yuha and Ichigo clash of swords. Looks amazing. And then we have Nakano? Miyuki Nakano. There's also a Masaki Endo in there, but that person is not listed in the actual time cards, or in the timestamps provided by Ken in the comments, so I guess just doesn't know where he's placed. But anyway, he is the one that did Toshiro's bit. The one that did Toshiro's bit. So, good stuff. But yeah, amazing OP, man. Like I said, it's kind of a toss-up between this one and OP3, which one is my favorite from Core 3. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, we have a couple other ones that are credited. We have Masaki Endo, credited as a presumed credit for the one bit between Yoruichi and Urahara. Let me see. Yeah, okay, that's the main credits for the OP. So anyway, but yeah, OP looks amazing, man. Love the song of it, man. The compositing especially. I love the art style. This one, the lighting of it, man, looks amazing. Anyway, then we get to what I love the final title sequence of this, with Ichigo slicing the camera, and it just slices like this curtain in front of the title that opens into the title card, to the title, which I thought looked amazing. Anyway, then we get to what I'm pretty sure was the opening of the film version, with the camera zooming through the Soul Society, or where, I forget what this area is called, with the Quincy's now taking over it. Showing all the different battles, including the Visors, obviously Bosby Body, Yoruichi, and Fuckboy Aizen, and of course, like, goes up, then goes through the hole, where we get this epic shot of Uryu, this epic rotating shot of Haschwalt as he comes in there, man. It's the coolest shit. Let me see, was that actually not posted on this? Oh yeah, surprisingly that has not been posted on the site. Kind of surprised that wasn't posted, because that was such a clean sequence. I don't know. I might try and upload it myself, honestly, because that's such a clean sequence. I'm kind of shocked that it's not actually been posted, unless it's like, I'll have to look through the posts themselves, because sometimes I might have been there and I just missed it. But anyway, so Uryu tells Ichigo that Haschwalt has the Almighty. His powers switch while Yuha's asleep, and tells Ichigo to go see Haschwalt on the upper floors of the water well. That's what it's called, the water well. If I'm pronouncing that right, I'm not German. Ichigo, of course, tries to argue. Then Uryu just tells him, just go. These aren't my last words. So he goes there. Obviously, Chad and Orihime follow suit, and then we see them go downstairs. Orihime's tearing up Ichigo, asking her if she's okay, man. Gotta love my boy, always checking in on his girl. But she says she's relieved that she knew that Uryu did not actually really join the Quincy's, and he's saying the same as before. Anyway, as they're running through this corridor, the statues come alive, which I mentioned in the review. This reminded me of Solo Leveling, though. Which one you are? Because I'm pretty sure Solo Leveling was a Korean web novel from like the 2000s initially, before it became a manhwa, and obviously an anime. Well, Bleach just came out in 2015 is when I'm assuming this part of the manga started airing, probably. So your call, you think, did this first. Anyway, so the statues come alive. They try to stab Ichigo. Of course, Ichigo, the goat that he is, grabs Orihime after she uses her shield to block the first strike. Once some more of them come in, they're all going in there. He grabs her, picks her up, Princess Carrie, and jumps around the roof and jumps around the building to get on the other side to get away from the damage. And it ends up splitting off Ichigo and Orihime from Chad. He sticks around to finish off against these statues, which I'm very curious to see how this is gonna turn out, man. Because honestly, these are like I don't want to call them jobbers, but they kind of are the jobbers of Chad and Ganjo. But hey, I'm always down to see Chad get a big showcase, man. So I'm very curious how this will turn out with Chad and Ganjo fighting these statues, man. I'm very curious to see how that's gonna eventually turn out. Anyway, also to quickly jump back to the Ichihime Princess Carrie thing, I forgot to mention. I'm low-key tempted to put one of the shots of Ichigo carrying Orihime in the thumbnail, though. There's a good chance for the lows I'll just make it the Yoruichi ass shot as the thumbnail for the video. Obviously, you guys will know once I actually upload when you watch this video, but that's sort of my thought process right now. I'm debating whether or not to do a normal thumbnail or just make it Yoruichi's ass the title card, just for the lulz. Anyway, then this is when we switch over to Uryu, and with Haschwalt, we mentioned that Haschwalt can't see the full future, because and we get flashback from Core 3, which says, you surprised me, Uryu Ishida, you seem full of hope. And I was like, oh, so that means whether or not I am, you did not foresee, thereby you can't see everything, And I also have to say this, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in my review for the film version of this, for Core 4, but this is easily one of the best storyboard episodes of not only Thousand Year Bloodborne, but all of Bleach, including the original series, if not the best supported episode of the entire series. Who was the storyboard artist for this? Let's hold me look it up on Keyframe staff list. Episode director Daily Che. Wait, was this the animator that did? Hold up. Oh yeah, this is the animator that did the Orihime jiggle thing, which also, gotta say this real quick before I forgot to mention it. Obviously, everyone was talking about the jiggle physics of Yoruichi's ass, and the fans was her. But hey, once again, Orihime's jiggle physics for her titties was not forgotten about either. That looked pretty good in its own right. Obviously, it didn't get as much of a showcase that one episode, and obviously Yoruichi was like kind of what everyone was talking about. But still, I gotta give Best Girl her flowers. She once again looked amazing, and thank you for the food, Paragon Films. Anyway, so yeah, he was a storyboard artist for this episode as well as the episode director. Anyway, so Yeah, he's awesome. Anyway, so like we see then after we get to the flashback, we then see the reflection of Haschwald's sword in Uryu's glasses before he fires off another arrow at like some rubble. Before once again Haschwald comes from behind him, saying, "I keep telling you, I can see everything." Swings his sword and Uryu dodges it like the freaking Matrix, and it just misses his hair, and like his hair sort of like folds with the sword, and all little strands get cut off. Man, it looks really fucking sick. So this is when he goes into it. This is when he activates his full standing and just starts throwing arrows at Haschwald. We get a lot of amazing stuff. Like we get this really nice closer shot of Haschwald's eye as we see the reflection of the arrows in him. And the compositing here is excellent. And we also get like another 3D rotating shot of the arrows kind of spinning around Haschwald before they start firing. Then we get another incredible sequence with Haschwald jumping into the air and like landing on one of Uryu's arrows and then using his arrows basically to walk or run towards Uryu. It looks fucking. This reminds me of that one scene from Spiderweb Shadows. Do you guys play like the one with the Vulture boss battle where Peter starts running on his like arrows that are like jet propels or whatever with like engines on them, with like rocket engines on them, man. It's so cool. Reminded me a lot of that scene. But anyway, he gets to Uryu, then throws him down into a lower level. This is when we get the big trailer shot that was incredible. 3D of the camera panning up from whatever lower level that they came from the attack of that, and guy spins around Uryu while Haschwald has like his sword to like his glasses, man. It's so fun. Like this was awesome in the trailer, but man, it's even now it still looks amazing. So then like this rift opens up in the sky. We then transport over back with Jinta and Uraru, which I'm pretty sure, I think I even mentioned this in my review for the film version. This is the first time we've seen them since, like, you know, since Fake Karakura Town, because I'm pretty sure they were not in Fullbringer. This is the first time we've seen them in Kubo's new art style when he did from the Fullbringer arc to now. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong that when they had like a slight cameo, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time we ever actually got to see them. And Uraru looks great, man. It's kind of weird seeing her with a different hairstyle compared because we're so used to seeing her with like the pigtails, but she looks good, man. She looks good. Anyway, we then come back to Uryu and Haschwald. Haschwald kind of rambles on about how, you know, they have destroyed the balance of the three worlds with killing Squad Zero, again, Ryusei Yamamoto's death, you know, fusing the Soul King with Yuha, man. You know, he was a linchpin of the three worlds, and like, you know, this is a prelude to the annihilation of the three worlds, and they're going to be creating a new world. So then he says, "Tila would trust my job," as he like starts pressing his sword against Uryu's glasses. The fact they don't break is shocking. All he does is just scratch him. But he like fires some more arrows at Haschwald, and we get another amazing 3D panning shot. There's a lot of 3D background shots here, man, and they use 3D backgrounds so well in this episode, man. Like I said, this is easily one of, if not the best board episode of Bleach, man. It is truly incredible. What was his name again? Daili Chen, if I'm pronouncing it right. His name sounds Chinese. I'm not sure the dude is Chinese or not, but however you pronounce his name, man, he's fucking incredible, man. This dude did an amazing job with the storyboards for this episode. Anyway, this is when we get to the commercial card for the episode, man. Looks amazing once again. And this is when we cut back to Yoruichi for the rest of the episode. So Fuckboy Iron is just laying on the floor. There's like rubble from what just happened during the battle with Yoruichi. Rebels falling there. He's like, man, I can't believe I don't even gotta move to avoid all. And then, like, as he says, this giant, massive piece of a pillar comes crashing right on top of him that just barely misses him. And he's like, well, I'm surprised. As I say, I'm surprised I didn't have to move to survive all this. So he's just got chilling. He's asking Yoruichi what she thinks, and she's like, sorry, I thought you were talking. He's like, I wasn't listening. And he starts waffling off. And, you know, Yoruichi looks over at what was his name? What was her brother's name again? Yushiro. And I was like, brother, he ain't doing some blood. He's like coughing blood. He's at death's door. And then when Yoruichi, and during that time, when Yoruichi looked away from him, Fuckboy Aizen just pops up right in front of her. And says, like, you didn't even know as I was coming towards you, you were at death's door. Saying, no matter how strong you think you are, I'm confident I can still strike first. Then and then we get Urahara. This is where we get to the good shit. where like where Urahara, I don't know, grazes her ass, like touches her ass, I don't know what, but her ass shiggles. We got some ass shiggle, and Urahara gets kicked in the chin for his trolls. And his line, I don't know what the dub of this said, I forget what the dub line was, but he says, "That hurt my chin." And the way he just said that, Urahara said that just made me laugh, man. And he's like, "Why did you hit me?" He's like, "You know why I hate you. Stop staring at my ass." And she's like, "That's not why I kick you. And stop touching my butt while trying to apologize." And so Fuckboy Eyes meant that Urahara is on the list of special threats. And eventually, they continue on talking for a bit, then Urahara then grazes Yoruichi's ass. The animation here on the shiggle was very great, and that's enough for them both to just fly back to fall back and retreat, get some distance between them, and this is also where we get regroup rather. And then this is of course when we get the title card of Yoruichi's ass, which I as mentioned in my movie review for this, got easily the biggest pop of the entire movie on the crowd. Was the title card, really just Yoruichi's fan service in general. This part of the episode in general got the biggest pops, especially from the guy sitting in like the row in front of me. He was like really into it. Anyway, so Yoruichi asks him what he injected into her blood. He says it's a secret, and Yoruichi infers that it's probably some immunity-enhancing agent that he cooked up. And he says, yeah, but he had to improvise and rush it so the effects won't last long. She asks how long. He says maybe 5 minutes. So she transforms, ready to jump right back and roll. But Urahara's like, "Hey, yo, Yoruichi, calm down, hold on for a second." He says, "Let's try the thing." And she's like, "No, I refuse." And he's like, "Why? Let me at least try to negotiate." She's like, try to explain, negotiate rather. And she's like, "I don't want to be that half-ass grotesque form ever again." He says, "Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but you have forced my hand." Fuckboy Eising manages to catch up with them, fire some blast at them. Yoruichi charges after him, man, fires some punches. He easily dodges them, then punches her in the stomach and gets her back down on her knees. This is when Urahara says, like, "Yoruichi!" He's holding up a notepad that says, "When I turn the page, you'll transform." And he does that. He flips the page, and she transforms into this new cat form that has a absurdly long title, but basically it's Kokubuyo Senkai, if I'm pronouncing it right. That's how you pronounce it. Whatever the case may be, and I think I might mention this in the start of the video, but I'm pretty sure they might have touched up the animation for this part, and like with the effects animation on Yoruichi for this format, like the lightning just looked better and it looks like there was more going on with that, a little more detailed. I don't know if they did touch up any of the animation from the film version of this one, but I feel like they kind of, but I could be wrong though. If you guys know for certain, have like both versions side by side, let me know. But, and he's like, and Fuckboy's like, "Why are you telling me this?" Well, he's like, "Wait, don't tell me, can she not understand a word of what I'm saying?" So then Yoruichi charges right at him, claws at him, he starts bleeding, gets another punch on him, sending him through like 5 buildings. Animation here looked great. He jumps in there trying to get away from him. Urahara manages to catch up to him, mentioning about how this form works, about Yoruichi being moody, and she needs to be in the mood, because, as he says, cats can be fickle. Yoruichi's mood in her Kokubuyo, I feel like I mispronounced that, Senkai form, shows in her spiritual pressure. It's very erratic, and she's like, "No, so she's not coming out just because she's not in the mood." She starts licking herself, man, like a cat. Once again, massive pop in the crowd. Very great, very well animated, I must say. And so then it cuts back to Urahara. Says it's almost like it's someone else's spiritual pressure. This is when Yoruichi manages to catch up with him, punches and claws at him again, sending him crashing to the floor. Then Urahara goes off about the flu and how the strands work. That even if there's not even a new strand, even if it's suddenly mutate, that's enough for the old strand to still come back and be effective, etc., etc., etc. Goes off that he can be that even when he's attacked, that he can change, that he can analyze what's come from and change it to make him immune. But Yoruichi's spiritual pressure, I think he said, changes 48 times per second as she rushes towards him, slashes him a couple times, and we get a bunch of explosions and impact frames. It looked amazing. Which this sequence was handled by Masaki Endo, was the editor behind this part with Yoruichi, man. Looked amazing too, man. The impact frames, the effects animation, particularly on the lightning, man, looked incredible, man. The explosions as well, man, just incredible work, incredible. Anyway, after that, Yoruichi's kind of like sitting, is like crawling, is like on this building, and then Urahara calls out to be like, Yoruichi, I got your Yoru nib, which I guess is like catnip, but for Yoruichi. She runs towards him, man, starts like sniffs it a little bit, then starts licking him, and just starts meowing as Urahara pets her. Yeah, and Mitch like, oh, you know, Yoruichi, she's cute in this form, and I would definitely agree with it. She's like meowing, and her saying, like, I didn't catch this when I was in the theater, man. This is when I have my headphones on. She's like actively meowing during this whole bit, man, as Urahara's petting her. Then the 5 minutes goes up. She starts like seizing up or whatever. He's like, they lays her down the floor. Say like, you did well, Yoruichi. Now you stay here and detox the toxins and T-dox. Anyway, then Fuckboy Aizen comes back with his gift ball deluxe, which honestly looks like a domain expansion. If I'm being honest, surrounding them in this area, and that's basically where the episode ends. We get the ED, man, which, like I said, looked amazing. You guys know the song in particular, man, is incredible, man. I love the effect. I love just the overall look of this, man. The compositing, the art style, man, looks amazing. Also, we have this one sequence. This is the only part from the ED that was actually uploaded to Sakura, but the ending sequence with Ichigo and like the long sword he's got going on, that's like combining both of his Zanpakutos together, was handled presumably by Yoshihiro Kano. Was the behind that? That's who's listed. But yeah, this ED looks amazing, man. Honestly, we got the opening bit with Ichigo and Orihime. I've seen tweets people theorize this is like when they start dating, that they're already dating by this point. Ichigo he can't take his eyes off her, man. You love it, man. You love to see it, man. Ichihime always gets good. I also love this one shot of Ichigo and the others like walking towards the camera, and Orihime's behind him, man. Looks insane, man. Love this shot. But yeah, looks amazing. Easily probably my favorite ED of 1000 Blood War. Definitely probably put this up there with my favorite EDs for Bleach in general, man. It's incredible. And I also like the little shots they added of Masaki and Ichigo and Uryu's family. I thought that was a nice little touch. Anyway, guys, that's where the episode ends, man. Phenomenal episode. Overall, I give this episode a 10 out of fucking 10, ladies and gentlemen. Easily one of the best animated and storyboard episodes of Bleach, man. Incredible work, man. Yoruichi's a baddie. Orihime is a baddie. Ichihime fans are eating good right now with Core 4. They really make up for lost time for the original anime. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me so you feel like it. Links are trust below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.